Fish on First has partnered with About the Fans to launch a merchandise collection. Rep the FOF logo and more Marlins-inspired apparel. Find it all at aboutthefans.com. Enter coupon code FOF10 at checkout to get 10% off your order. FOF10 for a 10% discount.
This is Griffin Conan.
This is Xavier Edwards.
This is Liam Hicks.
This is Dave Myers, and you're watching Fish on First live.
Hello and welcome everyone to this edition of FOF Live, presented by About the Fans. As always, here on About the Fans, you can check out. Oh, all right, there we go. That's better. You can check out About the Fans in our merchandise shop. Use the code FOF10 at checkout for 10% off your order. And of course, this is the stream that everyone has been waiting for. We have a full house for this one. It is the 2025 Marlins Draft Countdown and Reaction Show. We've done this for the past 3 seasons for Jacob Berry. We've done this for Noble Meyer. And infamously, we've done this last year for PJ Orlando. We'll have a bit of a highlight recap to show you those 3. But of course, let's introduce everyone. I'm your host, Daniel. We have Eli, Nate, Isaac, Kevin, Sean, Alex Carver. At the draft, we have Hector, and joining us again, one of our favorite draft insiders from Twitter, Mr. Jab. Guys, how you? That's how it is. That's how it feels like. How you guys feeling? I feel like our third year doing this. I feel like every year the reactions get better and better, more insane. This has become an annual tradition. A lot of people look forward to us, not just on staff, but also on Twitter. Just how's everybody feeling tonight?
I hope this one is a celebration rather than another PJ Orlando moment. I don't think we've ever celebrated since the start of the stream. So
everyone, I think we celebrated a little bit for Jacob Berry. We were like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, we'll show the video, but that was like a weird.
Well, off the top, we do have on-site coverage from Hector Rodriguez at the draft for the second straight year. Let us check in with him quickly just to set the scene for what it's like there in Atlanta. Right across the street from the ballpark, right?
Yep, what's up, boys? Yeah, as you can tell, it's a little loud in here right now. They're about to kick off the draft, so they got a bunch of people performing on the stage right now, but, it's a good time.
What selection did the Patriots have?
Last year we had number 4. We took Will Campbell. I like it. LSU kid. Maybe the Marlins take another LSU kid. I don't know about today, but maybe later today.
Well, maybe they take someone else from the SEC. Maybe he's part Irish.
We'll see.
And how's the place compared to where it was last year in Texas?
Last year in Texas, it was kind of like in a rodeo. So we were like, for us as the media people, we were like in the middle of everything. So it was much louder. Where this year we're a little bit more off to the side, and it's like kind of like families that are hanging around in the middle of the area, and there's more fans like in the balcony.
We'll check in with Hector as the draft pick gets closer. The Marlins, for anybody that's unfamiliar, number 7 overall in this draft order. We're expecting that pick to be made about 40-ish minutes from now, 40, 45. That's the time estimate we got from the team, but we'll see how it plays out. What do we want to start with, Daniel? Do we want to review some previous first-round picks from the Marlins just to get everybody up to speed on that?
Let's do that, and then we'll talk a little bit about Kyle Stowers' day, because especially after the day he had, we'll talk a little bit on that, and then we'll go pick by pick and see who gets selected, give our reaction to that, all leading up to the 7th pick.
Yeah. So let me just pull up this history of Marlins first-rounders. Draft the entire team's history. There we go. Oh. No, there we go. No. Actually, let me go full screen on that to take a look at what they've been doing recently in the first round of the draft. PJ Orlando, the most recent one. Last time they've had one with big league experience, Max Meyer. Last one that they've had be a consistent star. You really got to go all the way back to Jose and Christian Yelich. Since then, all those other guys, some mixed results. Most of those guys with their biggest success away from the Marlins. And overall, this is the highest that they've picked since Jacob Berry for this Marlins team. That gives you an idea of the signing bonuses as well. To put this into context, the slot value for them this year in the first round over $7 million. So if they acquire somebody that gets right around slot or anything close to it, then this could likely be the highest paid Marlins draft pick ever.
Yeah, unless they, I guess, go Irish, which would be pretty underslot, which is a money saving move. But yeah, they have not had first rounders recently.
How would you guys? Yeah, I was gonna say, how would you guys grade the last couple picks? Let's just say from Khalil Watson from 2021. How do you think the Marlins have been doing in terms of their picks, especially those last four with Orlando Myers, Jacob Berry, and Khalil Watson?
I can answer that question. It's a D to D minus at best. This is the weakness of the team, is drafting for strength. And it's not even, I've used this term in the past in terms of getting the most out of your players. It's not even about that. Like these players that they have drafted, except for Noble, I still have hope for Noble Meyer. I really do. I still think he could be good. And he just came back from injury. He threw a decent 2 innings. Like, yes, it's 2 innings. I understand. And yes, he's had gaps in his development with injury. He's had gaps as well with the mental stuff when he first joined the major leagues. So I still have hope for Noble Meyer. I think he's matured a lot since he's been here. I still have hope for Noble. The rest of these guys, I have very little hope. Jacob Berry, positionless. And if he's not hitting for an exorbitant amount, which he is not doing, then he is not a Major League Baseball player. Khalil Watson was a mistake. He dropped for a reason. The Marlins drafted him. We all thought that was going to be a great thing to get him at 16, and it just didn't work out. That I think in terms of that specific player, if you ask me personally, it's a lot to do with the attitude that guy has. It's just not there. That player's attitude is not there. It never was. From the moment that he said that Jeter better pay me my money, moments after he was drafted, his attitude is just not there. So that player from the day that he was drafted didn't have the attitude. Max Meyer, I think, is the last guy that they ever had. And J.J. Bleday did it with the A's, but not with the Marlins. But Connor Scott didn't do it with the Marlins, probably won't do it in the major leagues. This has been the weakness of this team. They cannot miss tonight.
Yeah. I want to go to Jab, who we have here as one of our special guests. Just how would you rate also the Marlins in terms of their drafting the last couple of years, maybe overall the entirety of the draft? I know today's the first round. We'll go a little deep into that, but how do you evaluate maybe the Marlins in terms of them full rounds?
Yeah, I would say last year, just in particular, there were some dudes that they kind of snagged later. One that comes to the front of my mind is Jacob Jenkins-Cowart, who came from East Carolina, corner outfield, had a good bat, had a good year, kind of really carried almost that East Carolina squad through that regional, even though they ended up losing to Evansville. He was kind of the driver behind that really good team. And it's just, I think Carver kind of hit the nail on the head with everything. It's just guys just haven't been performing. And I said it on the Spaces last year because I unfortunately wasn't able to get on the live, but it kind of felt like with the Orlando Johnson top 2 picks that they were really committed to the future. They were going to really trust the development plan. And I think this year they should kind of take that step in the direction of getting some guys with a little bit higher floors. So,
yeah, should be really interesting there. Really quickly before we start going about the draft, as Rob Manfred is now currently talking, let's talk a little bit about today's game that did happen. Specifically, Kyle Stowers going 5 for 5, 3 home runs. I don't think we really would have been talking about the game as much if anything really crazy happened. And something crazy did happen with Kyle Stowers. Kevin, talk to me a little about Stowers' historic game.
Yeah, I mean, couldn't have asked for a better game from Stowers right before he takes a private jet to Atlanta. So good for him. Had himself today showed why he was the Marlins representative in the All-Star game. And, again, against his former team, couldn't have been much better. And then on top of that, Yuri, career best 7 innings of shutout ball. He was awesome. So couldn't have asked for a better day of Marlins baseball, and they're going into the All-Star break in a really good position. And, thankfully the Edward Cabrera injury wasn't too bad. So that was good news too. But yeah, no, overall great day of Marlins baseball. And Kyle Stowers at the forefront of it with 6 RBIs. I think they scored 11 runs. 6 of those were thanks to him. And on top of that, Otto goes deep as well. So that was another guy. Liam Hicks with a quiet 3-hit game. I think you drove in a run as well. So
Is there another catcher you wanted to mention?
It was a great It was a great game for the Marlins.
So now the draft officially opened. The Nats have the first overall pick. It seems like maybe with the Nats, it could go Kate Anderson, could go Ethan Holiday. Again, they just fired their manager. They fired their GM. Sean, just with the Nats here, a division rival, but how do you even go into a draft without a GM and expect to make this incredibly franchise-altering decision with the first pick?
Yeah, I actually do think this is a big deal. In my personal opinion, I know there's many rumors out there saying that they're going to go Kate Anderson. I actually think that prior to the firing of Mike Rizzo, they were probably going to go with Ethan Holiday. If you look at who the scouting director of the Orioles is, or not the Orioles, the Nationals, comes from the Orioles background, and they have a track record of only going college bats in the first round besides Jackson Holiday in 2022. And there's been rumors for a while now that Brad Seelick is his name, is really into Eli Willits. So that's why in the mock draft I posted for Fish on First, I have Eli Willits going 1-1. So I actually do think this is a big deal. And I think those connections that Mike Rizzo had to Ethan Holiday and Kate Anderson's agent, Boris, may come into play here. And the reason why I believe neither of them might be pick one, but we'll see. We'll see. I know the betting odds favorite is Kate Anderson, but I do think Eli Willits is someone to keep an eye out for 1-1 here to the Nationals based on the history of their scouting director.
It is fun that we have one of these years where it is up in the air down to the final minutes before the draft. In a way, it's not always like this, of course. So to have the suspense is cool, and we'll see if that actually impacts the Marlins one way or the other. This is an interesting year where it feels like it might not, where we already know guys. We feel like we know certain guys will be off the board well in advance, but that's what makes this so fun. Just a look here at the order that we're looking at: the Nats, then the Angels. The Mariners finished over 500 last year. The Cardinals finished over 500 last year. And yet both of those teams jumped over the Marlins due to this lottery system, which I think is for the best. Just because the Marlins got screwed over this year doesn't mean that it's a bad system, but it was unfortunate for them this particular year because not only does it drop them in the order, but the corresponding drop-off in slot value matters as well. We'll be getting into that shortly about how the money that you have available to spend is set based on where you're drafting in the order. And so if you're not that high up, then you lose money as a result of that. The Marlins, even as cheap as they are, perhaps in other aspects of their organization, they always spend all of their bonus pool money and then some. They almost every year, I think last year they spent like 99% In the previous years before that, consistently right around 105%, as much as they could spend without actually getting penalized future draft picks. But all that is based on these rules that have been in place since 2012 or so, where you do have a ceiling in terms of what you can spend without actually jeopardizing future picks in there. And you see the slot value right there on the right side. So about $7.15 million for the Marlins. Top pick in this case, $11 million for the Nats, and it goes down from there. Any other thing I want to get to for anybody that's unaware, this is now the second year under Peter Bendix and Frankie Pilleri making this decision, the tandem. So really their last draft is the track record we're basing them on. Obviously, Bendix was with the Rays for many years before that, and Pilleri was with the Mariners for a handful of years before that, but they were both in lesser roles. They were both kind of assistants in the process. So it's hard to say exactly what they value and kind of what separates this brand from.
All right, I have the first pick. For you guys.
So Daniel,
no,
let's go.
Eli, wow.
Wow.
Let me just
Wait. Remember, Carver, after this pick, no phones, nothing. We got to keep this.
I knew it. I called it.
Wow.
MLB Draft. The Nationals select Eli.
Wow.
He got it. Like, nailed it. Like, seriously.
John,
John got it.
Push on the full screen, Sean. Give us a little bit. Eli Willits, the Nationals selecting him. You just went full-blown prediction heavy right there, but give you some prediction points for that. But talk to us about this pick. What do you mean for the Nats?
Yeah, I think it's a great pick, honestly, for the Nationals. Eli Willits is maybe the best hit tool for any prep shortstop in this class. Some people say Jojo Parker. I think giving it that he's a switch hitter, he's 17, one of the youngest players. Is most likely going to stick at short. I think could probably play center field. Maybe average power by the time he matures. I mean, it's a great pick. a very like dirtbag type of player. He's going to steal bases, run well. I think it's a great pick for the Nationals, and it's very reminiscent of the Jackson Holiday pick, that this late ascension to pick one just hours before the draft. I think this is a great pick, and is what I projected too. So I feel pretty good about that.
Gotta think Kate Anderson's number 2 now.
You love players. I always love players with a growing up or a childhood of growing up with baseball, and this guy has it. I mean, literally, like his father was a major leaguer, grew up with baseball. Like I always love this. I always love to see this. This guy only knew baseball growing up, grew up with it, wanted to do it, wanted to follow in his father's footsteps, and it's like 60 grade tools over the board. Like every single tool is 60 grade. It's crazy. So I think this is a well-rounded player. I think it's a guy that rose pretty damn quickly in the later days of this scouting class. And it's very impressive to see this guy rise for a team that fired its GM, that literally fired its manager. Like this is a team in transition, and this is the guy that they believe in to carry their team for the future. There's a lot to be said for that. This is a franchise-changing day for the Washington Nationals.
Yeah, you'd think that they would go with the safer route, which would have been the left-hander out of LSU. And honestly, between Ethan and Eli is definitely the safer high school pick. But still, wow, very interesting. I think you'd think maybe Seth Hernandez goes second or Cade. This is going to be, wow, I did not expect that. What a time.
Hector, you're there. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, shocked to say the least. Obviously had Eli as my number 1 prospect on the Marlins board. I thought he would have ended up falling all the way to number 5 at least.
Yeah.
And damn, like everybody was basically penciling in Kate Anderson being the number 1 pick. They call up the shocker. They go with Eli Willits, who, by the way, like I said, I think he's an awesome player. He's 17 years old. He won't turn 18 till December, so he's very young. He could have been a 2026 player, and the main reason why I had him over all the other high school prospects is he's as good as just about every single one of them, and he's much younger than all of them. So, now for the Marlins, they got to pivot. Their number 1 guys off the board, and we'll see what happens. Pick 2 through 6.
Yeah, now it really feels like the draft is really going to start off. Jab, talk to us. I was going to ask Jab really quickly about Eli Willits. What else he sees from him?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to be, sound like a broken record a little bit, but I thought out of the, 3 prep shortstops, Parker, Carlson, Willits, that Willits did actually have the higher floor, and he was the youngest. He doesn't turn 18 until I think 4 or 5 months after the draft, and it's like what everybody said. Contact quality is great. About probably the only knock you can think of is below average power, but that's just because he has, a smaller frame. But 65, you give him 70 glove, I wouldn't hate it. Going to stick it short, and I really like that pick for him. Like Carver and everybody else, that's a franchise-changing pick, and I think it's a good one.
Probably best chance to stick it short over most of these guys that are going to go top 10. I think this guy has one of the better chances to stick there, whereas the rest of these guys may move up. I think there's one other guy that will stick it short, which maybe the Marlins will get that guy. We'll see. But I think this guy's got a really good chance to stick it short and has the most well-rounded hit tool. So I think this is a great pick. I think the Nationals did well here.
Wow. Okay. Second pick. Wow. All right. That's an interesting one. This is going to change things, I think. This is well. All right. So with the second pick in the 2025 draft, the Angels will select from UC Santa Barbara right-handed pitcher Tyler Brenner.
Whoa! Wow. That's fine.
Wow.
Seth Hernandez is still
Seth Hernandez, go!
We take that.
That will be a stud.
They have that entire Corona team in their backyard, and they go UCS. I'm very surprised with that.
Tyler Brenner.
Isn't this one of those picks, for those of you that follow this closely, this is one of those picks that is certainly very surprising based on what we had leading up to the draft. But like a year ago at this time, that would not have been all that surprising, right? That Bremner would be potentially the first pitcher off the board.
Yeah, I think Bremner, if you look at preseason rankings, is probably the second-ranked pitcher coming into this class with Jamie Arnold first. So as the year went on, he's kind of fell down draft boards a little bit, but I mean, it's not shocked that it's a California kid going to a California team. I'm sure maybe they get to underslot it a little bit, save up for some picks later in the in the draft, and I know they were in on pitchers, but I guess the shock of that it's this pitcher. But I mean, that's still a great pick.
Third pick is in also.
All right, go for it.
All right. With the third pick in the 2025 draft, the Mariners select Cade Anderson.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. No-brainer.
Seth Hernandez is still there.
So it looks like Seattle saw that pick and just jumped on Cade Anderson in terms of best. Like they saw that and they like, all right, that's our guy.
Ethan's got to be next.
Yeah, Ethan is a $1 billion. I will put my net worth on Ethan going to Colorado.
Well, we already have one pretty big surprise here. Although, as far as I could tell, the pre-draft buzz was a lot that Cade would not fall further than this, and that Ethan Holiday would not fall any further than number 4, due to the clear connection with his dad being a longtime Rocky. So,
I guess the Cardinals, it would make sense for them to take Doyle out of Tennessee.
Well, knowing the Angels, Tyler Berman might just start next week. Boy, that they bring up these prospects. So what do you guys think about these last two, Bremner and Cade?
I think
Bremner's I think Bremner's the shocker. I think Anderson, that's just a toss-up, like just falling in your lap right there, though. But I mean, you can't hate the Bremner pick, really, but that is crazy. So,
where was he for in pipeline? He was 18. They had him 18 in pipeline.
I think around there is fair. I would have put him probably on the cut, like right outside the cusp of top 5 for college players. Like, he had a slow start, but he kind of really picked it up at the end. And a fastball has great shape, great feel for changeup. The slider's good, super athletic delivery. But I mean, the only problem is, he's such a strong pronator. So, adding a sweeper or a bigger breaking pitch could be a problem. But that is a crazy pick.
Yeah, looking at all the reactions.
The Bremner pick over Anderson is insane. The only thing that I would say for Anderson that is a weakness is reliever risk because of size. This is a guy that's not sizable at all. He's like 6'2", 180 or something like that. So, I mean, we've seen guys do it. We've seen Max Meyer kind of start to do it. We've seen guys start to do it that are undersized. But the stuff profile of Anderson is just so good. Especially in a metal bat league, in the LSU and the SEC, like for him to do it there and show that stuff profile against those bats is incredible. So that's kind of what you bet on. And that's kind of why this guy was a number 1, number 2 pick. I'm surprised to see him fall here to 3. I thought he would be 1, 2. I did not see Bremner going over him, but obviously the Angels believe in Bremner over the stuff profile of Anderson, but I guess that's to their credit. They push prospects very fast, as has been mentioned. But I think if they were going to push a prospect, it would probably be Anderson, who is very advanced already. So I didn't see this one coming. I thought they would have gone Anderson, but they go Bremner. Surprising for sure.
How do you think Anderson fits for the Mariners in terms of that pick?
He'll probably go up fast, I would imagine. I mean, he's very pro ready. I also think it's an interesting fit because the Mariners are great at developing pitchers. I know there's a lot of people that say that they believe that they can squeeze out more velo from Cade Anderson, because if there is a knock on him, it is a average to below average projection on the fastball, as the ball will change in the minor leagues and the pros. But the off speed's great. And I mean, if you're going to want to go to any of these top 5 teams here in terms of pitching development, you'd want to go to the Mariners. So, I mean, I could imagine Cade Anderson up in the majors by next year, May or June. I think they're going to probably fast track him. I think he's a great pick for the Mariners.
You're not thinking bold enough. Maybe in September as a reliever only that part of the year. I'm kidding. I think the more likely outcome is what you said, but these guys at the very top, they can move. It's interesting how they manage their innings coming out of the draft. That's been an interesting shift with now being in mid-July instead of mid-June, especially on the pitching side, is how much experience that all these guys get in the minors during that first year. And that's a fascinating wrinkle.
All right, 4th pick just got called in.
We can wait a little bit until the third one at least appears on the official tracker.
No, you just have to
Pace
refresh.
ourselves. No, dude, it's gonna automatically refresh.
Okay.
I don't know. Sometimes,
There we go.
Oh, spoke into existence. Wow.
Yeah, fourth pick with no surprise. It is Miss Ethan Holiday going to the Rockies.
I really hope Carlson goes here to the Cardinals.
Now it feels like the draft gets a little more interesting.
I'm not a big Carlson fan.
All these shortstops.
Dude, I think Jamie Arnold's going to go to the Cardinals here, probably, especially with Wills gone.
Well, Doyle's also there too.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Oh shit!
The
Okay,
Pirates
but
probably
Seth
have to take
Hernandez is there, but maybe I don't know what
Yeah,
they're
just
gonna
the
do.
Cardinals and the Pirates.
Dude,
I'll say this for the Cardinals. Watch out for Ike Irish there.
If Hernandez
Yes,
and
sir.
JoJo are both there,
Ike Irish
Please.
and the Cardinals has been linked. I'll keep an eye on that one.
Please.
Irish and Cardinals, we would be throwing a party right here.
Wait, all right. So I want to pause for a moment just to throw up the last minute mocks and what they had for the Marlins, just to give you an idea, because all these guys are still on the board. So they're all still possibilities. Ava Arquette has fallen. Ike Irish, we were definitely expecting him to still be around here. Billy Carlson, JoJo Parker, and Billy Carlson again. So that all these guys still in play. At least one of these guys now guaranteed to still be available for the Marlins, if not multiple of these guys in all likelihood still being available. But these are none of the mocks, to be fair, none of the mocks had Tyler Bremner going second overall. So, and I don't think any of these, maybe as far as I can remember, I don't think any of these guys had Eli Wills going first overall either. So you got to take it somewhat with a grain of salt. But these are best in the business, and it was based on their sourcing. These are the guys that they landed on as Marlins possibilities.
So all I'm hearing is that Sean is better than all these guys.
Hernandez falling here is
clear.
the surprise so far for me.
I saw that Fangraphs had put Eli Willits a couple minutes before the draft. They did their one mock draft, and they had Willits go number 1 overall. So they must have heard something. They must have known something.
They must have read my article or something.
Yeah. And for those of you that are interested, they have the Marlins taking Seth Hernandez with the 7th pick.
That would be amazing. That stuff profile, that's a win. If the Marlins get that player, that's a win.
Best case would be Seth, JoJo, or Doyle. I think
Agreed. Agreed.
One of
Seth or
those three.
Seth or JoJo, that's a win. That's a win.
Or Doyle. I like Doyle a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think they can mess it up. But the Marlins have surprised us before.
If they go with Carlson, I'm gonna go and punch Kevin in the face.
Like Irish is still on the board. I wouldn't be bad. I don't mind Doyle either.
Ike Irish is a 2nd-round talent. Screw this, bro.
I mean, so was PJ in the prospects last year. They had him 48.
He was ranked 43rd or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Well,
43,
at
48
least
is
Irish
ridiculous.
is 11th. Where's this other guy?
Yeah, so Ethan Holiday.
Jamie
going to
Arnold is
fourth.
number 4. That's not terrible either. If he slips to the Marlins.
There's no way they go with Irish. There's no way they pick when they have literally obviously.
Dude, it's literally Jacob Berry or JJ Bleday. It's literally the same player.
Yeah. I want to bring up Anthony. He's a very loyal follower of ours, and he DMs me quite a lot about draft stuff. And so he's been on this thing about them going under slot for one of these names right here. But especially the way that it's fallen, it's played out to this point. I think that's even less likely that we're going to see with both Carlson still available and JoJo Parker available. I think this is very, very doubtful.
Wow. Okay. Cardinals have just. All right, here we go. You guys are ready?
Oh, we got the Joe Doyle tweet. Go ahead, Daniel.
Once again, just to space it out, let's wait until the 4th pick. Let's wait until the 4th
Don't
pick.
take out my sources.
Oh
Don't
my
take out my
God, Eli.
sources, Carver.
It's called party poop.
Just don't look at your phones. You can hold off for. Was it one more pick after this?
Just refresh the page. It comes up quicker.
Ooh.
Daniel.
Should we wait until the Colorado picks it out?
Just say it, Daniel.
All right.
No. Pacing ourselves out. Pacing ourselves
It's okay.
out.
We can do it. We have some time. Mr. Ethan Holiday. But yeah, the Cardinals have selected their player with the 5th overall pick. That means as of right now, the Pirates are on the clock. We'll see who they take, and then we'll go up to the Marlins. It's going to be an interesting next 20 minutes or so in terms of maybe who the Marlins select.
Okay.
But
I'll get 30 more seconds. If it's not on the screen by then you can go ahead and share it. Just a few more
Yeah, this is a name
Did they
actually
announce the
some of us
Colorado pick already?
haven't really mentioned.
Oh fuck!
Man,
You got
for
Joe
sure gonna
Doyle.
have a Colorado pick.
Okay, that's when they'll put it on there.
Right here. I wish MLB would allow that. Just trading picks.
I mean, they can trade comp picks, but not.
I wish they would have done that.
At 7. I like Arquette.
All right, there we go. Jeff Passion just tweeted out.
There it is.
Holiday.
Yeah, there it is.
Wow.
Oh, okay. So now with the 5th overall pick.
With the 5th overall pick in the 2025 MLB Draft, the St. Louis Cardinals select Tennessee left-handed pitcher Liam Doyle.
Dude. Ike Irish is going to be a Marlin.
They select Liam Doyle, who probably was the best player available at that time. Jab, a little bit about Liam Doyle, hard-throwing lefty from Tennessee. What are the Cardinals getting, and maybe what you can expect with this next pick with Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I mean, Liam Doyle, easily best fastball in the draft, 70-75. It was his go-to. I think he used it over 60% of the time. Last year, got up to 100, has really good carry, plays up. The secondaries do need work, though. I think the cutter shape is good. The slider is above average. Curveball's above average. But I think what's going to be the deal breaker with him is he flashed a splitter at times that had really good shape, but it was kind of inconsistent with whether it was the strikes or just the movement profile itself. So I think if the Cardinals can get that cleaned up, and obviously him not relying on the fastball as much, it can be, just an unbelievable player. And I had a funny text with one of my friends this morning, and he said, I don't think I've ever seen a player where their floor can be Alex Vesia and their ceiling can be, a slightly worse Tarek Skubal. And I think that's so true with him. It's such a wide spectrum of what he could be, but, it's definitely worth the risk. So
Yeah, see you there with the Cardinals select. Next up are the Pirates, then the Marlins go. Sean, who's left on the big board now with Liam Doyle getting taken out?
Well, with Doyle getting taken, I mean, we still got guys like JoJo Parker, Billy Carlson, Eva Arcanet. We got Merrick Houston is a guy that I personally like. You can see there, my board, I would say, is probably a bit different than a lot of consensus boards. Seth Hernandez is my top guy in the class. I would love for him to fall to the Marlins. We'll see what happens. There's still tons of talent. I think especially the pick of Tyler Bremner, and I would also say Liam Doyle. I was not expecting Liam Doyle there to the Cardinals. The board has shaken out a bit, not as I expected, at least. I don't think many people expected this, but there's still tons of talent. And I think the Marlins are going to be in a good spot to take at least 3 guys that I think everyone here will be very happy with, unless, the name I don't want to say gets taken, but we'll see.
I just have a feeling that even if Seth Hernandez is there, they're going to pass for some reason.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking too. When I say that's the one specific name I heard during this was Irish, and I was just like, oh, okay.
Just to hit on the Holiday, I don't know if we hit on Holiday, just to hit on him real quick.
Yeah.
It's the fact that he's already kind of moved to third base, it would suggest to me that he's not going to stick at shortstop. There is a little bit pull happy, I think, to his game from what I have seen in watching him leading up to this and watching video leading up to this. But this is a great pick. I mean, it's power profile, it's course field. This is a great pick in a park that Matt Holliday used to play in. So it's a great pick. It's a historic pick for the Rockies. I think they're going to be happy.
Love that last comment.
Just Kevin, please. Just to touch on this one, he just turned 19. Seth did. He was born 2 days. Well, I guess his birthday is 2 days before mine. He was born June 28th, 2006. He's Kevin's age, practically 1 year younger than Kevin.
Yeah.
So he is a young 19-year-old. But yes, he is 19.
I would say you worry about that less for pitchers and position players. That was one knock on Orlando last year. He was already 19 at the draft. And even though I personally am,
it was his birthday that day.
Even though I'm pretty bullish on Billy Carlson, he turned 19 very shortly after the draft as well. So it's just one factor that goes into it. Whereas Eli Willits, he was one of the very youngest draft eligible players. He's going to be 17 for a couple more months at this point. And so little things like that, if it's more than a full year difference between guys that check a lot of the same boxes, then that's certainly going to be a tiebreaker for most teams.
Did the Pirates make a pick, Daniel?
Let's see here. Nope, not yet. So they're probably really debating in terms of who to go.
It's kind of frightening, I guess, not for Kevin, but for like the older guys the Marlins Major League Baseball teams are now choosing players that have been 3 years removed from the second World Series champion in Marlins history. Whoever they choose will have been born so much after 2003. That's just scary, man. Like, wow. I remember
Thanks, Isaac. Appreciate it.
I remember
but no. I don't think with the board lining up as it is, no matter who the Pirates pick, I don't think the Marlins can miss here. It's either going to be Hernandez or Carlson.
Yeah, they can. They take Ike Irish and it's a miss.
I don't think they can miss with either one of those players, whether it's Hernandez or Carlson.
Right.
I don't think you can miss.
Dude, if they take Ike Irish, holy.
Yeah, Pirates still haven't selected.
Hernandez would be the dream. Like, if the Pirates don't take Hernandez, they got to get him.
They already have Skeens. They don't need Hernandez. Yeah.
And Bubba Chandler and Barco. They're good there.
Yeah,
Jared Jones coming back next
I
year.
guess you can have too much pitching, according to Isaac. Okay.
Let me see.
JoJo Parker would be a slam dunk for the Marlins too.
I would love JoJo. I don't give a
They
fuck.
can't-
JoJo would be awesome.
They can't go
Carlson
wrong,
would be
man.
great. Like any of these guys. Like there's
Okay,
three
Lee
players
Boyle
right
got
there.
put on the thing.
Yeah, Cardinals still nothing. I still haven't heard anything from my source.
Sean, so you'd rather Carlson over JoJo?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the Billy Carlson's glove itself gives you such a safe profile to make the major leagues, and
the
if he
tools are
reaches
better,
about
too.
80 to 85% of his hitting potential, I think you have a consistent 3-WAR guy. I mean, this is not like a Starlin Caba bat. This is like, maybe a bat that, think about maybe Cubs Dansby Swanson. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
But what are his chances of sticking it short? Probably not great, right?
Carlson?
Carlson?
No, he'll
Excellent.
stick. He'll stick.
No,
Carlson's the best
You think
defensive.
Carlson's
He's
stick?
the best defensive infielder in this draft. He's not.
What,
going anywhere.
what about
He's got Gold
Parker?
Glove
What about
potential.
Parker? Same profile?
Parker's probably not sticking at shortstop. He's probably moving.
That's
to
what I
second.
meant.
Oh my
I
God.
like the background.
Do it. Do it. Play the
This is
music.
big. This is big. Play it.
Please be like Irish.
I trust that you're not overreacting. This is actually
No, this is a pretty significant
Play the
name.
music.
Hurry
It's
up!
just going to be Ivar Arquette.
Hit the
Pirates.
music.
All right. So this is the last team to pick before the Marlins. We have
Go.
intel about who that Pirates pick is. Daniel's
We have
going to share it with
intel from two
us
sources.
at
I
number
will.
6 overall.
After this break.
According to my source, the Pittsburgh Pirates in the 2025 draft select Corona right-handed pitcher.
No.
Oh man.
They're gonna take Irish.
The player we probably all wanted for the Marlins to pick. Jab, talk to us about Seth Hernandez. They're setting him up there with Jared Jones, with Paul Skeens, with Bubba Chandler. They're creating something over there in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, Hernandez is tall, lean. He's athletic. He's a 4-pitch mix. He's throws from, I think a 5.9 release, so it's a lower release compared to his height, and he gets a ton of extension, so that's great for Peter. It's up to 100. It's got good carry. I think he throws gyro slider, changeup, and kind of a depthier curveball. But I mean, if you're getting 4 distinct pitch shapes with good heater extension, good heater life up to 100 with a plus athlete, that's a good pick for him. So
That's everything the Marlins want in a pitcher. It's size, strength, and stuff. They love developing pitchers like that. Look at Thomas, Yuri. Like, they love developing pitchers like this. That would have been such a great get for the Marlins. Now they go, I would say, I don't think they expected to get that guy. I would say they expected that guy to probably go a little bit higher. So we'll see what they do. I don't think this is their plan B. I still think they're in their plan A. We'll see what their plan A is. I hope that it's one of the shortstops. We'll see.
It will be. It has to be one of the shortstops. There's
There's
no defending it if it is not one of these prep shortstops. Oh my good.
Arquette is fine with me, guys. I like Arquette from Oregon State.
Give me JoJo fucking Parker, man.
They're gonna take Billy Carlson, man.
Either Carlson is. I would rather JoJo because of the safer hitting profile, but either one is fine. I'd rather JoJo.
Yeah.
JoJo's in the best case
Jamie
scenario.
Arnold is still there.
Jamie,
If
I was
they
about to
take a
ask Sean
pitcher,
that.
I'm going to be livid.
Even if JoJo moves off shortstop, which I think he probably will eventually long term, this is still a great pick. The hit profile is there.
I will be
It's
fine. I'll be fine as long as it isn't like Irish.
So for everybody, who is the top pick in here, and who is the pick where we have reactions the last 2 years? Prediction time, Eli. Eli, let's get the video for the last couple of reactions now that the Pirates have selected.
Okay, hold on just a moment.
Give me
This is our-
goddamn JoJo.
Yeah, this is
Hear
our-
Ike's name.
Let's do the video. Let's reset things. We can relax, take a breather, some water.
Kevin organized this from the last 3 years combined, 2022 to 2024. We've done something similar to that. And yeah, these were our reactions when Daniel delivered the news about the Marlins' first-round pick in those years.
The sixth pick in the 2022 MLB Draft, the Miami Marlins select Jacob Berry, LSU.
Manfred hasn't even announced yet on my screen.
Jacob Berry is the pick. Third baseman. Do we have any highlights of Mr. Berry, Eli?
That's so fucking stupid.
I'll grab some in just a moment. Yeah. So,
Right.
you know, I singled him out as somebody that I did not think the right pick here, considering who was available on the board. That's a little disappointing.
Draft. The Marlins are hearing could potentially be, most likely, Noble Meyer.
What?
Noble Meyer. Right-handed pitcher.
You're
to
joking.
The Marlins.
You're joking.
I have this.
Not like this, man. Not like this.
Noble Meyer. This is the guy that it's the same guy had everything. The Chase Dollander. He had the one. The one before that. I just forgot. Blake Mitchell had it right before it. Hearing Noble Meyer.
But not confirmed.
Marlins.
Not confirmed. Not officially in yet.
Not officially.
This person
in.
must be deaf, man.
And with the 16th overall pick in the 2024 MLB Draft, the Miami Marlins select PJ Morlando.
What?
Outfielder, high school.
Who?
PJ Morlando, who is the 43rd ranked prospect in MLB.
What are they doing?
He is a 9. the Carver, your reaction is
I'm vindicated by what that man is doing. He's walking against single A pitching. That's about it. So
Eli, let's get some video going. Not video. Let's get prediction time before we get this, because Jeff Passan just announced a Seth Hernandez pick. So Marlins, they're looking right now. All right. So for prediction time, we'll see if we'll count this to the points. Again, who the Marlins select. I'll go first. Start things off really quickly. I'm going to go, they select shortstop Billy Carlson. Billy Carlson will be the pick for the Marlins. Eli.
Billy, I'm on the Billy train with you. I think he's going to be the pick right here, and that the Marlins are going to be more satisfied with him long term than they have been with some of their other recent first rounders.
Sean.
All right, I am also on the Billy train. Let's go Billy Carlson. I think he will be a great pick for the Marlins. I hope they do it.
Chad.
I think if Frankie Polari sticks to his word and picks the best player available with the track record, I think they go Ivar Arquette.
Kevin.
I also think they'll go Billy Carlson. Not the guy I want, but it seems like it's most likely.
Hector.
Billy Carlson was number 2 on my board. He's still available. I think he will not be the pick. I think they're going to end up going with the other shortstop, JoJo Parker.
Ooh, okay. Mr. Nate.
I prefer JoJo, but I'm on the Billy train as well. The Corona Boys are going to go back-to-back in MLB Draft.
Isaac.
I think that they're going to go Joseph JoJo Parker.
Ooh. And lastly, the man who you'll be covering for the foreseeable future, Carver. Who do the Marlins select? And you're muted.
And he's on mute.
I will also say JoJo Parker with the safer hit tool. Maybe moves off of shortstop, but still will step on the infield. I'll say it's Parker.
All right.
No tickets for Ike.
Wait. We need to have a good reaction. So who are we getting mad for? Who are we getting happy for?
Well, we can't force anything, Kevin. It's gonna be natural. You gotta take it. I'll say it. I'll announce the pick. Everything with a dramatic effect. We'll see what happens. But it looks like, again, Ike Irish might be the bottom floor pick. No. I'm just saying. Ike Irish could be the
I wish
worst
you
pick
said
for
Ike Irish,
Marlins.
dude.
Billy Carlson. Nothing yet. Nothing yet has come in.
Please
So
don't
we're just
make
waiting
a
for bated
reaction,
breath.
Daniel. When you see the pick, do not keep a poker face, okay? That's all I ask.
Okay, I got you. Nothing yet.
Well, you just picked Ellen, man.
Stop. That's
They're gonna take some dude that's
No,
like the
not
50th.
Arnold. No.
As we're waiting, I guess I could just speak to if it is Parker. I guess I just speak to the background. Him and his twin brother are both in this draft. Their father, unfortunately, is paralyzed. Like they had to grow up playing together. Like it's just a cool story, background story as well. The New York Times printed it. Great. So it's a cool story. It's a cool kid. I really hope that it's him here.
We all do.
Yep, nothing has come in yet as we're waiting.
I'll be fine with Arquette. I like him. I've seen him for a bit. I'll be fine with the pick. I don't think he'll stick it short, but nice third baseman. Has some power too.
I'm so nervous.
It's a refresher where we're at. Those are the picks. Eli Willis, number 1 overall. Tyler Bremner, number 2. Kate Anderson, number 3 to Seattle. Ethan Holiday to the Rockies. Liam Doyle to the Cardinals. And Seth Hernandez to the Pirates. We think it's very likely Marlins go with a hitter here. Jamie Arnold is probably the one pitcher that could throw a wrinkle into that. Very highly regarded college career that he's had. But
do you have it, Daniel?
Still refreshing. Nothing's yet. Remember the
I
Pirates
guess with my
a
statement,
little bit.
if they do really go best player available, I guess it would be Arnold technically, but
Manfred is coming to the podium right now.
Man, they kept it close.
Oh,
Hector, no reaction. No reaction, Hector. Don't react.
Forever.
if he leaves the live stream, it's Irish.
Kick him out.
Oh wow. Okay.
He's
All right,
on.
I got the pick. I got the pick.
All right.
Oh,
All right. I've got the pick. All right.
okay. You ready?
With the 7th overall pick in the 2025 MLB Draft, the Miami Marlins select shortstop Ava Arquette from Oregon State.
Alrighty,
Only one
guys,
to
let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's
Good
go.
pick. All right.
All right,
All right,
Ava
listen, I didn't
Arquette.
If I heard
Oregon
Patrick
State.
come out of your mouth, Daniel, I would have turned off.
I feel like this has been one of our better reactions from the last couple of years with Ava Arquette. Sean, take it away.
Yeah, I think this is the best college bat in the whole class. I don't think he'll stick at shortstop, but I think you move him to third base. I think he's going to play a premium third base. I don't write these publicly, but in one of my comps, I put him as imagine San Francisco Chris Bryant, maybe tail end Cubs Chris Bryant, that type of player, 8'10", 850 OPS third baseman is going to play good defense. I think this is a great pick. We'll see if they undershot it a little bit since he's a college bat. And this was my second-ranked player in the whole class. Super happy with this. I think this is great. And there's a really deep shortstop, high school prep shortstop class. So I wouldn't be shocked if they go at 43 and get themselves a high school shortstop. This is a great pick. Really happy with this. This is good.
21.8 years old. Some crazy exit velocity numbers, apparently, just reading his profile on justbaseball.com. Like Sean mentioned, not likely to stick at short, but apparently one of the most prolific offensive profiles in the class. Could have been a lot worse. I would have probably gone high school, but this could have gone really, really south. And I think Miami did great here. Good job.
You're betting on the bat, and the bat is good. It looks good. The only thing is with him is that I don't think he's faced pitching that is particularly very good. That's kind of like that scouting report just said. I think I would agree with that. And what I've seen from him is I don't think he's faced great pitching. As he faces more advanced pitching, we'll maybe get a more advanced feel of the bat. But damn, really good. I think this is good. I don't think it's great. I think it's good. But definitely won't be a shortstop. But the arm should carry him at third base. So not bad for a college bat. They go college. Wow, for the first time with the first pick in a little while, right?
Since Jacob Berry.
Since Jacob Berry. So I think this guy's better than Jacob Berry. I think he will definitely stick on the infield. That's for sure. Definitely more tooled up. You're betting on the bat, though, and I think the bat's pretty good. Just got to see him against more advanced pitching.
Yeah, and
21 years old, 6'5", 220. So there's also a lot to fill out there. See what happens. Again, very tall guy. Jap, well, what about Eivor Arquette interests you with the Marlins? And maybe where does he fit also? You could see their future plans and then this farm system.
Yeah, I think, just the big body shortstop kind of just screams off. First off, DJ LeMahieu, big body shortstop. I do think he'll move to third in the long term, but I mean, pulls fly balls at an above average rate, smashes balls. His average EV was, let me pull it up real quick, 93.5, 90th percentile of 108, max EV of 113. And I think most notably playing shortstop, he was 99th percentile in outs above average last year. So that's a good sign. And I think on the stuff side, like 15% whiff and slugged almost 600 against 93 plus heaters, did really well against hard spin. I really like this pick. I think it's a safe floor.
So how do you guys say this pick from compared to last year? How do you guys like this one?
Much better. Holy
night and day.
crap.
Worlds away better, like just so much better.
And in a class that's pretty high school heavy too. Like that next pick could also be high school. So
It is JoJo Parker.
Could be high school.
Blue Jays
get Parker.
JoJo.
Yeah.
As a reference point from last year, PJ was a pivot because Cam Smith was somebody in the pre-draft process they were locked in on, and he didn't quite make it there. In this case, I'll be curious to see what they thought, whether they expected Arquette to be available here. I think most people didn't, even though he wasn't going to go 1 or 2. The likelihood that he was going to go somewhere between 3 and 6 seemed pretty high. And for them to hit in the fall here is interesting. I think he's going to get full slot value, if not even a little bit more. Right, he'll get right around slot. There's no reason why he should take less than that, just considering what he's done heading into this. As alluded to before, that's going to make him the highest paid Marlins draft pick ever. They still have a lot of room to spend on the rest of the picks, but still, that's going to be one element to consider. In order to get such a high floor, and for a player like this with high floor, good production, you're going to have to pay up for it. So he's going to be a very significant piece of this whole draft class when the dust settles.
Eli, did he play last year with our stud Aiden May? Pretty sure he did.
Mm-hmm.
Transferred in from Washington.
Oh, no, he transferred from Washington, so no, he didn't.
This was his only year.
He just played this year. All right.
Yeah, he had been
at
Washington.
But that is a relevant note that last year the Marlins made 2 picks from Oregon State, and Aiden May, and then late down Micah McDowell. So going back to the Pacific Northwest, that's where they got Noble Meyer in 2023 out of the Pacific Northwest.
They drafted Cohen Nagali from Alaska, so that feels like the Northwest is something that they're really keen on as of late.
That's where Frankie was.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to make some sort of connection there in terms of where they feel that they scout thoroughly, where they feel they may have some sort of advantage over other teams, that is an interesting trend, how much high draft capital they've spent on guys from that region, whether they be preps or whether they be college guys. That's an interesting trend.
And I don't know if this was a scout that scouted this guy. I bet he is a main Pacific Northwest scout for the Marlins, is Scott Fairbanks. So I don't know if he was involved with this player, but he is a very significant piece up there, and they rely on him pretty heavily. So,
including the kid from Alaska last year too. I forgot his name, the catcher that didn't sign, but that's also just something to note that they're really going into the far reaches. Got these kids in the PNW, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, really interesting here with Eivor Arquette. Sean, where was he on your list, and was he someone that you really thought the Marlins were able or even have the opportunity to take compared to all the shortstops from high school?
Yeah, he was my second ranked player in the class. I never mocked him to the Marlins strictly because I didn't think he'd fall to pick 7. I thought that, this is, in my opinion, the best college bat in the whole class. And he's also, the first college bat taken. I just thought a team ahead of us, instead of the Marlins, would have taken him. But, I'm really glad he fell, and that the Marlins seem, as of right now, to have made a good pick, unlike some past years.
Yeah, the following 2 picks were both shortstops as well. So it seems like the run going on at JoJo Parker and the Reds selecting Steele Hall right now. So it looks like the Marlins just doing that run right now with them.
By the way, another Hawaiian stud in South Florida. So there you go.
He was the farthest thing from a stud.
So Carver, really, 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 really super early prospect rankings. Where does Ava fall? If you can even do it right now.
Jeez, I think it's unfair to say, but I definitely top 5. I would probably say in our current rankings, I'd probably put him 3rd.
Damn, Thomas number 1, Mac number 2. I think Ava is a clear 3 right there. There's a little bit of a gap between.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say 3 is about right.
Maybe depending on how high somebody is on Snelling, could consider him as a contender for number 3 moving forward. But
Snelling's been such a stud. I think he's major league ready right now. That's why I said it's kind of hard, but I would put him 3rd. I think the bat carries.
What's his feature in terms of fielding? Again, with shortstop, we mentioned Starling Cabo. This guy is, again, older than him. You have him higher in our potential prospect rankings. Just what's his potential in terms of fielding, do you guys think?
I think he's going to move to third base. He actually has like some pretty fluid movements to him. I just think that he's too tall, and the feet aren't there. I don't think he's quick enough. He's a fluid defender. I think he just profiles best at third. A very, very, very strong arm. I think the arm is probably the best part of him in terms of fielding wise. I think he profiles best at third base moving forward. And that's in terms of the Marlins farm system. I know Carver can better answer this. I don't believe the Marlins have a third baseman of the future, that someone that we can that they can rely on.
Yeah. Go here with the Marlins selecting Ava Arquette. Just any other notes that you guys have for this? I mean, now it's starting a trend with the shortstops. What do you think, Hector?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have Arquette in my draft board as well because I didn't think that he was going to be available for the Marlins. Surprisingly, he was available at number 7. They take him. I did a profile on him. He was probably one of the first college guys I did a draft profile on. I'm not going to go into it completely, but just a couple tidbits. Plus power tool, clean swinging mechanics. He's been able to drive the ball to all fields with authority. All 3 of his years, he's improved his walk rate and strikeout rate. He adjusted his swing this year to be able to lift the ball more because before he used to always hit with high exit velocity, but it was on the ground, so he wasn't going to be able to do too much damage. Now he's lifting the ball. As was mentioned earlier, he's got an incredible arm, which is why I think he does profile best at third base because he's going to continue to grow. He's 6'5", 220. I think you could still add another 10 to 20 pounds of like solid muscle, maybe not 20, but maybe 10 to 15, and that's going to slow him down. So I think at that point, third base is the best spot for him. My comp for him was Sebastian Walcott, who's a top 10 prospect in all of baseball.
To answer this question, not going to stay live on the stream for all the other picks. We'll do it maybe for a couple more to see how far my guy Billy falls.
What pick are they on right now? The Reds are selected 9. Let's see. Can you scroll down a little, Eli? Let's see the other picks. Maybe we can go. We could probably do to maybe Texas.
Theo Hall.
See the next 3.
Cincinnati is interesting with Billy Carson still on the board.
Yeah, so we'll be live until that 12th pick with Texas, and then we'll end things there again. The Marlins also have, I believe, the 43rd pick in the draft, so we might go on the spaces depending on how late it is and who the Marlins select. We'll have your reactions. That won't have a live stream, or you can do a live stream for that pick, but we'll be live in spaces, so you guys can even join in, ask questions, whether it's about Ava Arquette or it's about the next selection the Marlins make.
Yeah, that Steele Hall pick is really interesting, like Hector mentioned, over Billy Carlson. That's unexpected, but perhaps they get him a bit cheaper. He's had a ton of helium leading up to the draft class, and he's also young. I believe he's 17 right now. So one of the younger prep shortstops in the class, like Eli Willits. Great defender. That guy's a big toolsy player. I know the Rays were huge on him. And JoJo Parker to the Blue Jays, I think we didn't speak about too much, but that's another great pick. That was projected as well going into the draft.
Here, maybe you guys can answer this also.
I would be pretty surprised if the Marlins didn't move Arquette off of shortstop pretty quickly. In my opinion, I don't think he is going to stick there at all. I don't think the Marlins going to think he's going to stick there at all either. It's a guy that's not fast at all. I don't think has the ability to go both ways on the infield. I think he needs to go to third base pretty quickly, take the pressure off the bat, and let him work with the offense. I think that they should move him pretty quickly. And I think that should be his avenue to, like you said, Sean, they don't have a ton at all of even near major league ready third basemen that are of this caliber with the bat. So I would say that he should move pretty fast. I think that should be their route. We'll see if that is their route, but I think that should be their route pretty quickly.
Yeah. To answer the question sent in by PJ, I think Jamie Arnold is falling a little bit because towards the end of the college season, I know he struggled a bit with command, and command had always been sort of a question with Jamie Arnold from that kind of weird 3/4 lower arm slot. Maybe teams just aren't certain with Jamie Arnold. Maybe they don't feel as he is as safe as a pick as Liam Doyle was, or Bremer, or obviously Cade Anderson. So that would probably be why Arnold's falling. Although I'm a big Arnold fan. He was my top college pitcher.
Yeah, Jab, you tweeted this out. Talk to us about what you're seeing here, his value, his future value, what he brings, maybe even some of his weaknesses as well.
Dude, I'm just so relieved, especially after these last, really 2 of the last 3 years. Again, like I still think Noble can be that guy, but I mean, just bat speed, power, shorter third. I mean, you can see all the green. There's very minimal red-ish, and even then it's just patience. So it just feels good to finally have a pick where I feel like the whole fan base is pretty confident in. So it just feels good.
Yeah, as we're still waiting for these next couple picks before we head out, Marlins selecting Avar Arquette, shortstop, out of Oregon State. Sean, with Avar Arquette, we haven't really mentioned what's also some of his other weaknesses. Jab just mentioned his patience, but how do you see his arm, his run ability? I know we had a question in the chat talking about is he a slow guy? He is taller. Where are some maybe lower values from Ava?
Yeah, he's not the fastest guy. I'd probably say it's about average speed. We'll see as he gets older, if that maybe is below average speed, but you're definitely betting on the bat. I'd say that he's a very, very aggressive hitter. He swings a lot. The chase is a little bit high. The good thing is that the whiff is not insane. He makes a lot of in-zone contact, but he is susceptible to chasing. And he did improve a lot this season in college compared to last year, especially against off-speed. If you compare it to last year, he struggled a bit against off-speed pitches. So there was major improvements in terms of the contact quality, but the approach seems like it's going to stay as an aggressive hitter. So we'll see how he does if he maybe becomes a bit more patient, because I know that's something that the Marlins internally try to push. So we'll see, but overall, I do think it's a solid, very, very. Again, this is my top college bat in the whole class. But if there is a knock, it is his aggressiveness. But the thing is that he's so big is that he just gets the pitches too. So, I think it kind of works for him. Maybe some other players it won't, but I think for him it works. So we'll see how it goes.
I will say too. I just pulled up his.
By the way.
Yeah, Carlson just went to the White Sox.
I just pulled up his.
Slide, Eli.
24 data, and he was down 6.5% on total swing percentage, down 9% on zone swing, and then cut his chase by 5%. So definitely seemed to have made an emphasis on patience last year, and it paid off. So
yeah, and if you, like I said, if you take the pressure off by moving him to third base, I think he's just going to get better. So
I agree.
It's solid. I mean, I think this is a good pick for them, and I think this is going to be pretty good. Best first pick they've had in a while.
So Billy Carlson went to the White Sox, and Jamie Arnold went right after to the Athletics. So those are back-to-back picks right there. Eli, should we finish it off right now? Maybe give some final thoughts on this. Your final thoughts on the selection and what it means for the Marlins and also for the future.
Yeah, I'm sorry for people that wanted an extreme reaction from at least one of us. I don't think any of us were all that surprised, or at least not in a negative way, about Arquette falling to this spot where it seems unlikely that this would even be in play. So it is a different type of pick than they made certainly the last couple of years. And I remind people that they have a big bonus pool to spend with. So even though Arquette is going to take up a chunk of that, they can still do creative things the rest of this draft, including the rest of tonight. Tonight it's an unprecedented setup where they're going to be picking 3 more times tonight alone before moving all the other rounds to tomorrow. They're on the clock again at 43 and then 46 after that, which means that there's still a lot of action to go. And that's why I'll even more coverage of it. But overall, this is interesting. This is one where it's harder to poke holes in it. It's going to come down to betting on the bat, as you guys have mentioned. And it's a bat that we feel pretty confident is going to play, but you just never know. There are the safest possible college picks through the years that are bat first, and you feel even good about it in this range. There is still somewhat of a crapshoot element in terms of guys that'll make that adjustment. The thing is that at least this guy, based on what he's done in college, we're going to find out pretty soon with Arquette. I imagine that he's going to be playing before we know it games up in – we probably starts in high A, probably in Beloit for a little bit of time. It would be really aggressive if they pushed him all the way to Pensacola up front, but they have room for bats in Pensacola, so it's not like he wouldn't be a potential upgrade or fit right in. But this is a guy that can move relatively quickly. That's not – I hate it in previous years where they've even brought that up as a factor with your very top pick, how fast they're going to move through the system. Because the reality is, if you're picking this high, you better be a player that is going to be dominant and move through the system. And high school guys can do that almost as quickly if they are truly of the talents that you think they're going to be and make that adjustment. So that shouldn't be a factor, but that is an element to this where we'll find out relatively soon on him in terms of whether it's legit, a guy that could be in big league spring training as soon as next spring. Even if he's not going to make the team out of camp, these guys can become a big part of the organization relatively quickly. So the fact that they went with him here, you would think that they diversify their portfolio and with one of these next few picks, go with a prep player in order to mix it up. That's always the key to a successful draft class, is definitely having that diversity of talent and upside and floor as well. So that makes me think that there's going to be prep players coming up relatively soon. A lot of this other money that they haven't spent yet, I think, would go in that direction. We'll find out.
That's a good point. The money, and that's something that as a last question for all of you guys, is do you think this is like more basically a slot pick? Do you think it's maybe slightly over? Like, what do you think of the money on this pick?
I think it's going to be slightly over. If I had to put a ballpark number on it, 7.25 million, maybe 7.3.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think right at it or just barely above. So.
Yeah, I don't view Arquette signing for underslot, so something that's in the ballpark, something not too drastic where the Marlins have to change their entire strategy with the rest of the draft.
Yeah, and that will do it for this always great edition of FOF Live, the draft stream. This is always one of the highlights of the year. We can't thank you all to watch. We have almost close to total views close to 5,000. This is amazing. We love you guys. Of course, I'm Daniel. We have Eli, Sean, Jai. I want to thank Hector, who was at the draft. Carver, Isaac, and Kevin are talking to Frankie Pilieri. They'll come up with some quotes, some answers on why Ava Arquette, a little bit on that. But that's going to do it here for FOF Live. I know Jab's going to host a space right after this, so go ahead, join that. We'll have our own spaces at the 43rd pick and the 46th. That's going to do it. It's a great day to be a Marlins fan, to enjoy everything that's happening. As always, go Fish.
Fish on First has partnered with About the Fans to launch a merchandise collection. Rep the FOF logo and more Marlins-inspired apparel. Find it all at aboutthefans.com. Enter coupon code FOF10 at checkout to get 10% off your order. FOF10 for a 10% discount.